Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now it's not too often I underestimate something I'm gonna get myself into on this channel. I usually have a pretty good plan of attack and I usually know exactly what direction I'm gonna go in. But well, today here in my hands I have the Wuben A9. Now, what I'm talking about is the people at Wuben reached out to see if I'd be interested in checking out one of their products. I took a look at the A9 and I was like, wow, this is going to be perfect for an upcoming backpacking trip. And I thought the light was much smaller than it is. When I got this case and saw everything inside and the overall size of the flashlight, I was like, maybe this is not the trip to be bringing something like this. And I can tell you, this light is beautiful. And so what we're going to do today, we're going to get into this Wuben A9 in detail. This is a 12,000 lumen flashlight capable of beaming out to about 420 meters with a good amount of light, good solid throw, and a beautiful form factor, all things considered. And so when we get back, we'll get into this in detail, but with that said, I have a whole bunch to do and a whole bunch to share with you, and if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. Now, before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Wuben who did provide this for review. And so the nature of my backpacking trips is that, well, I go very far distances and carry a ton of weight. And so I need to be very selective in what I bring with me. And when I saw this Wuben A9, I was like, whoa, first off, it showed up in this beautiful case. It's kind of like a Pelican case, and you'll notice it actually has an air release valve for travel. So it's sort of that like air balancing valve, pressure balancing valve, very cool. Just beautifully done, nicely badged, so it has these real nice little logos everywhere, just beautifully done. On the back side here, all the specifications and sort of statistics, which are, the things that you need to kind of understand what you're getting into. But it was really when I opened this up and I was like, whoa, this thing is a beautiful presentation, but more than anything else, just a light that is so much more substantial in size than I thought by what I saw online. Look at the size of this light. This thing is beautifully made, incredibly gorgeous, and is just a monster. And I could not justify carrying this 15 miles into the deep wilderness, even though I really, really wanted to. And so as we get into this, I haven't even unboxed this yet. So turning the corner here, you can see this is the manual. Here we have the shoulder strap, which yes, this needs a shoulder strap, the charger, and what they're calling a gift and another gift. So kind of interesting, but the presentation, gorgeous. The case, perfect. The overall quality with Wuben is always there. And so, you've heard me say it a million times on my channel. I'm not necessarily a stickler for packaging, but when a company is paying attention to the details in the packaging, they're paying attention to the quality of the product on the inside, and that is absolutely going to be the case here with this A9. And so I'm going to break everything out of the boxes. Again, just beautifully done with the overall presentation, the attention to detail here through the roof. Now, I was thinking that one of those gifts was going to be the spare O-rings, but no, the spare O-rings right here, a warranty card, and the user's manual, which I will refer to this. The shoulder strap. So again, this light is substantial enough that it does need a shoulder strap. And look at the size of this padded shoulder strap. This is insane. I mean, I don't feel like the flashlight's going to be heavy enough that you need this like super substantial amount of padding. However, what I am going to say is this is a real nice strap, very well made. And after a while, if you are holding something this substantial on your shoulder, you're definitely going to feel it. And that begs the question, well, what are you going to use this for? And my immediate answer is absolutely a search and rescue type of event. There are many firms out there that provide search and rescue, support and teams. There's, first responders, medical professionals, firefighters, police, public works, public services, all kinds of different professionals who would need a light this large. Beyond that, you could definitely use it for very substantial, and I would say like inspections. Maybe it's structural inspections, maybe it's mechanical inspections. Maybe you need to see off in the distance and really light things up. This A9 is going to do it. And so to have something like this strap, that is going to definitely come into play. A little overbuilt maybe, but definitely very, very nice. The charger. So yes, this also needing its own charger. Now we'll look into the batteries in a minute, but as we break this out here, you'll see many different adapters. So depending on what country you live in and the type of power you have available, but you'll see here different sockets. So that's kind of cool. And as we flip this around, so very interesting. It is basically just a power brick, and this is just a USB recharging brick. So again, very interesting, but I can take this adapter here. So in the United States, this is what I would need. Indexing this into place, twisting, and it does lock into place. So pretty simple and effective. Interesting. Which at that point begs the question, what about the cable? So as we take this out of the box here, this does come with a USB Type-C recharging cable. And then the gift, what did they send? What is this little gift here? So inside, oh, kind of cool. So check this out. It's actually like a dog tag. So a little Wuben dog tag. I like this a lot. A simple touch, yet very nice. Made out of aluminum. Nicely done. Just a real cool little, memento type of keychain. Maybe you use this as I wouldn't wear it like a dog tag personally, but, just a little decoration. You can put this on your keychain. It's definitely cool. I like it. Nice little touch. And so this gift here, let's see. This is actually a survival bracelet. So kind of funny to incorporate this, but definitely cool. So as you see here, paracord, you have a ferro rod, a whistle, a compass, obviously all the cordage, a scraper on this side. It clips together, very easy, and it's adjustable, so pretty neat. And of course, for me, I do wear paracord and all kinds of stuff all the time, so that's just cool. I don't know that personally I would wear this or use it, but it's neat to have it and just fun that it comes with the A9 package. But the main product, of course, is going to be the flashlight. Now, as I get on the head here, trying to feel the tail cap and feel things out, it looks like the head is what actually unthreads here. So I am going to, whoa, look at this battery. Boom, this thing is huge. Now it did come with a little protective film, but here you can see this is the Wuben, and they're saying, I don't, 18650. This is the Wuben ABG 10200 rechargeable battery. Honkin'. 10,200 milliamp hours. This equates to about 73.44 watt hours at 7.2 volts. And then again, it does say 18650, which is interesting. So I wonder if inside here, this is just like a case that's holding 18650 somehow. Very interesting. Please remove the sticker before using. So this does say here, it is an upgraded battery. This thing is just honking. So I am going to remove this sticker. And you'll notice that this does use the USB Type-C recharging cable. So while we're looking at the rest of this, I'm going to start to put this on the charger so I can get this thing fully charged before I use it. Which you can see here as I do this, it does light up red. So that little indicator there, very simple. Just briefly, while I have the head off, you can see on the inside, nice big, beefy spring there. So it's going to help make contact with the battery. Beautiful threads, nicely done. Just a massive flashlight head here. Swinging this around, you can see the triple LEDs. Beautiful machining. Nice touch. I like the blue, simple. And I love their buttons. Wuben does a nice job with their buttons and the actuation switches. Just very nicely done. Now down inside the body, you can see again, nice honking spring. Good size. Beautifully made, just wonderfully machined, and absolutely gorgeous flashlight. I love the overall construction. It has on the back side, you can see some threads. So actually you could technically put this on a tripod, which is kind of cool. And then as we rotate this around, beautifully machined aluminum, gorgeous knurling and attention to detail. Then again, nice smooth threads, and you can see the gasket. So as we get the head back and into place here, threading this together, pretty smooth, all things considered. And yes, just substantial here with the A9. So at this point, I'm going to let the batteries come up full charge, and then we'll get into some use. So really cool. I am very excited to see how this performs. Walking in here on the low mode, awesome for navigation. You can see good even amount of light, very even, just a beautiful overall beam. Now checking out this spot here, which is one of my favorites for flashlight testing. Now it's going to be a little bit hard to see, and it is raining, but I'm beaming off to a far shoreline here, and it's doing a decent job in the low mode. Now as I single press to turn off the light, and so at this point I'm going to turn the light on, and this does have a memory mode, so it is going to remember the last mode. So right now I have it in the low mode. It's going to go low, medium, high, then it's going to do a ramp to turbo. So you'll see it's in low, long press, medium, high, ramp to turbo, and then quickly off. That's a little bit difficult, or I can do a double press straight into the turbo mode. So I get a couple of different options here. But again, that low mode, enough to see around, general navigation, make my way as I work through difficult areas, and I slow down. You can see more than enough light. This is going to be a great prolonged battery life and just do a nice job with the overall illumination in my general area. Beaming up into the trees, that's doing a nice job. That's about 20 feet away. That's about the theoretical limit. I can get a little bit further, but it definitely loses detail, and you're not going to pick that up at all on camera. But again, this tree here, you can see that is about 20 feet away, and that's illuminating nicely. And so now with this setup for my field use testing, again, the light is in the low mode. You're not going to see anything as I long press. That's going to go to the medium mode. Now as I beam over to the left hand, close shoreline, you'll see the medium mode doing a nice job illuminating, no problem. That's about the theoretical limit for this in terms of the fact that my shoreline drops off pretty quick into the far distance. Now, you're not going to see too well until I long press here, but that's starting to beam things up. So now you can see off into the distance that far shoreline straight across. That's about 100 feet away. So again, this is on the high mode. When I long press, it's going to ramp and then go into the turbo, which is very fast. So a long press, and you'll see it goes so fast that it almost immediately jumps off. So now I'm going to double press back into the turbo mode. Well, there's the turbo. That's the full output. You can see up into the trees, a nice overall wall of light, doing a pretty nice job to light things up, all things considered. Now again, for another set of beam shots. Again, I'm going to long press. The light's going to come on in the low mode. You're not going to see too far off. It's doing an okay job illuminating to the left-hand side, but again, you're not going to see that. A long press here, that's going to be that medium mode. So now, starting to see on the far shoreline, it is doing a decent job. Another long press, that's the high mode. So now you're starting to see a nice beam of light way off into the distance. Good amount of flood, good amount of throw.
Then again, a long press is going to be that fast ramp. So a long press ramps up, and then it's so fast it just turns off on me. So a double click here, back into that turbo. So the turbo, you can see a big wall of light way up into the trees, doing an awesome job, really nicely done. Now when the light is off altogether, I can double press, and that's going to be the strobe. Another double press is going to be an SOS, and then a single press, it goes back off. Again, just for another demonstration, with the light in the fully off position, quick double press, that's going to be the strobe. Double press is going to be an SOS, and again, a single press, and it's off.
Now here providing an alternative angle, and you can see the A9 in action. So here on the low mode, the low mode has a 20 lumen output. This has an overall runtime of around 23 days. Now, as I mentioned, a very low output, all things considered, around 1 meter of throw. But the medium mode, a little more suitable for general navigation, a little more suitable for general observation, and the ability to beam off into the distance. The medium mode at 1000 lumens. This is a great output overall and has a very reasonable runtime of around 11 hours. The medium mode really starting to throw, beaming off into the distance and allowing me to see across to the other shoreline. Not a huge amount of overall throw, but enough that it's really starting to light things up the way that I needed. But it's the high mode where you really start to get a wonderful output. The high mode at 4,000 lumens, this will run for about 4 hours. Now it does start to limit your overall battery life, but it's a good amount of light, a beautiful throw, and it really does start to illustrate the quality of the beam pattern on the A9, illuminating far off into the distance. The high mode having roughly a 420 meter throw. Although it's not as bright as the turbo mode, you really are starting to see the overall performance. Now when you get into the turbo mode, there is that real fast ramp that goes right up to turbo and then turns off. I don't understand that at all, but with a double press, it does get back into that turbo mode. Turbo, 12,000 lumens. Overall candela, 40,900. That's a solid punch. Again, 420 meters of throw and just an overall quality performance. At that point, you can turn the light off. And once you turn the light off, you do have access to the specialty modes, being the strobe at 12,000 lumens and the SOS at 500 lumens. Overall, a very nice beam.
Now just one final set of beam shots for the demonstration. A long press here, again, that's going to be that low mode. Now it's dropping off just below the frame. You can see my hand here. Enough light to see, navigate, more than enough to read. Good amount of light. Now a long press here. This is now going into that medium mode, beaming across to the far shoreline. You can see up in the left-hand side. In front of me, there's some fallen trees down in the river, but if I long press here, the high mode, that's going to do a better job showing that off to you. Now really starting to light things up pretty good. Off to the right-hand side, you can see that shoreline. Double press here, that's going to go up to that turbo mode. So now the turbo really starting to light things up way off into the distance, doing a pretty nice job, all things considered. You can see beaming down into the water. It's a mix between a flood and a spotlight. That's going to be a nice thing for the general search and rescue capabilities. At this point, if I turn the light off, quick double press, that's going to be the tactical strobe. Double press, SOS, single press, off. One last feature while we're out here that's kind of nice, you will notice that the Wuben logo, which is on the activation button and the side switch there, it does glow and it breathes. That is kind of a nice feature because it's really easy to see that at night. Get your thumb on it and activate the light. So nice little touch.
And so, all right, guys, there you have it. A look at the Wuben A9. Now, just a few last considerations worth covering. First off, you do have the ability to attach the shoulder strap. Now, I have absolutely no idea how this is supposed to go. It's not quite what I would expect, to be honest with you. I feel like it's supposed to maybe go over your shoulder and then, I don't know, does it clip around your back or something to hold it into place? I'm not really too sure. As I get this into place, it looks like it may possibly go this way and kind of hang off your side, but I'm not really too sure. It doesn't seem like it's the right overall dimensions. It fits a little bit wonky. I can't quite figure it out, and there are no instructions. So that to me is a little bit funny. It would take me just more time than I'm willing to spend right now to figure it out, to be completely honest. But overall, beautiful light. Now, I do think there are other options out there that are a much smaller package that can do pretty much what this light can do, with the exception being battery life might become limited on a smaller light. You're going to have a smaller battery, not quite as nice a beam as on the A9. The A9 beam is just beautiful. It's broad, it's bright, it's clear, it's precise. It's a beautiful beam, but the flashlight is just gigantic. If this was 50% the size, it would be a home run, but it's just a little big, a little bit heavy. Now, the construction is as nice as it gets. It's beautifully made. I love the construction, just absolutely gorgeous. And then generally speaking, the modes are great, with the one exception being, and I just can't understand as you go through it, that weird ramp mode. So again, I'm in the low mode, medium, high, and then the ramp to turbo, and it immediately dims back down to that single output. So again, a long press, you're kind of in that mode, medium, high, it ramps around. I don't quite get it. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. I can't understand the purpose of that. Like, I almost can't stop it quick enough to get it into the turbo mode. That's going to be a memory, but I don't need it to be a memory there, because once I turn on the light, even if I am in the low mode, a quick double press, well, boom, there you have it. So I'm just kind of trying to find my way through here. I don't understand the ramp mode at all. Then the other thing is, I think they're trying to conserve battery with the SOS. The strobe is the full 12,000 lumen output, where the SOS drops way down to 500. It's very dim. In fact, if you look at that footage, you'll notice it did dim down quite a bit. It's hard to see. Now, at distance, if I was beaming this up at 500 lumens for an SOS to signal somebody in a plane or a helicopter, or even on a mountainside shining down, I don't know, would that work? Maybe. I don't have enough experience to really say. I do feel like it should be brighter. But all in all, a beautiful light, so I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Wuben who did provide this for review, and for the rest of you, if you like this content, do me a favor, take a look at my Outer Limitless 2 channel, which is more on the tactical and firearm side of things. At this point, that channel's growing quickly. I have a ton of videos up there, so if you like what you see here on Outer Limitless, do me a favor and check me out on Outer Limitless 2. So alright guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.